This is a basic smart contract that has to do with number storage. Basically, it stores a number and it retrieves the number back using two major functions, the setter function and the get function. So, explaining the code that we have right here now, this has to do with the license type for this smart contract. And the license identifier or provider is MIT. The pragma solidity line has to do with the version of solidity that we are making use of. What this indicates here is that I'm making use of this project now is compatible with any version of solidity from 0.8.19 upward, and this is where the real code starts from. I mean the smart contracts that we'll be making use of. At first we declare this. That's like a container for the old code, a kind of envelope for every function, every variable that we'll be making use of. So the contract name is storage, and we open it with this curly brace so that every other thing would be making use of would be inside, right? And this is our first line of code right here, line 6. But there's a comment right before it that explains what that line 6 is for. And that states that the uninitialized variable that will hold the number. So we declare a variable. This is data type unsigned integer 256. What this means is it takes in positive numbers only, no decimals, no float numbers, right? The uninitialized variable also means we have not declared or assigned anything to it. The variable is declared, but it is not initialized. Like we don't have anything like input equal to 5, input equal to 10, input equal to this. We just know that okay, we have a variable declared already. Then for the next line now, we come to our first function, which is the getter function. The getter function is the one that retrieves the value, the number that we need first. So just as written in the comment, the get function retrieves the number. So we start from the function, declaring function, then the function name, which is get, public, which states that everything within this function can be accessed within and outside the function. Then we have the visualization type, which is view. What this view means is that this function can read from the blockchain, but it cannot write or modify any other information in the blockchain. That is the way we have over here now, where it can just fetch whatever number has been imputed into the smart contract, but it cannot change that number or delete the number or make any other modifications to the number. The only function it has to do is to fetch the number. Hence the reason for using view. Then we have the return function over here, and that states that whatever results that we'll be getting from this function has to be in this data type. That's the unsigned integer data type uint256. This is what the function will be doing. It will be returning this variable. That's input. Whatever is inputted, it will be getting it back. Then we move on to the next function, which is the setter function. The setter function as well is also started by declaring the function variable name, then set, which is our function name. Now this bracket, this parameter here states that this is the kind of data type that we want to use. Since we would be using the set function to store our number, we need to equate it, we need to give it a different state variable. Hence the use of this underscore input, then public, like I explained earlier, to make sure everything within this function can be accessed within and outside the function. Now we have our code. The initial variable that we declared earlier, we are now assigning it to our state variable for the setter function. That is, whatever number that you input, it would equate to this number here. It can always keep changing. It means you are willing to take in an input. This is always blank. You have to input a number. There is no fixed number. Like I mentioned earlier, since it was not initialized, the setter function will be the one to provide a blank space where you input a random number. Let's see how this works briefly. So compile. We have the green check mark, which means compilation was successful without any error. Now let's deploy our code. Every other setting is appropriate. So let me delete that for you. So deploying our code now. Yes, we have the contract deployed. This is the smart contract. As you can see, the set function is disabled and it is telling you that input is required. When you come to the get function, you realize that okay, you click on it, there is nothing, the value remains at 0. But now let's come back and input something.
Okay. 23 points as now. Press the set button. And look at this get, the value is at 0. But now when we click the get button, we have our 23. That is, it has successfully fetched the number that we stored and retrieved it back. So that's it about the setter and getter function, a basic storage contract. Bye.